In 1933, IBM CEO Thomas Watson personally signed contracts with Adolf Hitler's government, and the punch card systems that followed helped categorize and track millions of people marked for death. Yet Watson received a medal directly from the Nazi regime and never once faced legal accountability. The public wasn't told for nearly 70 years. IBM, International Business Machines. For most of the 20th century, that name meant progress. It meant America. Blue suits, clean offices, the future arriving on schedule. Thomas Watson built it into the most respected technology company on Earth. His motto was Think. His image was the civic-minded patriarch of industry, charities, presidential meetings, a man who stood for responsible innovation. When people pictured IBM, they pictured the future being made carefully by serious people who knew what they were doing. They were right about one part. In 1933, the exact year Hitler became Chancellor of Germany, IBM didn't pull back from the German market. It leaned in. Watson personally oversaw the relationship between IBM and its German subsidiary, Die Hamag, short for Deutsche Hollerith Maschinen Gesellschaft. Hollerith punch card machines were the data processing technology of the era. Feed a card through, sort by category, retrieve a result. Fast, scalable, ruthlessly efficient. And the new German government had a problem that required exactly that kind of infrastructure. They needed to count people, sort them, classify them. The first contract was for the German census. IBM's machines didn't just count Germans, they sorted them by religion, by ancestry, by race. Column 22 on the Hollerith punch card, Jewish. The census ran in 1933. IBM technicians were on the ground, servicing the machines, ensuring the data processed cleanly. Watson signed off. The machines bore IBM's name and IBM's patents, but that's not even the part they really didn't want out. When the Nazi state expanded the program, when the Gestapo, the SS, the railway system all needed the same data infrastructure, IBM's machines were there. Not stolen, not commandeered, leased, serviced, under ongoing contracts that IBM renewed deliberately year after year. Watson flew to Berlin in 1937. He attended a formal banquet with Nazi officials. Hitler's government awarded him the Merit Cross of the German Eagle, one of the highest honors the Reich bestowed on foreign nationals. Watson accepted it. He wore it. He didn't return it until 1940, 2 full years into the war, when the optics became impossible to manage. Here is the scale of what IBM's machines actually did. The punch card infrastructure didn't just power a census. It powered the logistics architecture of the Holocaust. Each concentration camp prisoner received a number punched into a card. Column 3, Jew. Column 6, protective custody. Cause of death coded at the end. Special treatment, code 6. IBM's leased machines sorted those cards at Auschwitz, at Dachau, at Buchenwald. Categories on those pre-printed cards, IBM designed them. IBM printed them. The rent was paid on schedule. The invoices were settled. IBM collected revenue from the Third Reich through the end of active operations. Historian Edwin Black spent 8 years inside archives across 4 countries. When he published IBM and the Holocaust in 2001, he had the internal documents, cables between New York and Berlin, subsidiary reports, lease records, field technician logs. IBM's response when the book dropped was not a denial. It was this: we don't comment on speculation about historical events. The documents were not speculation. They were IBM's own paper. 6 million people died in the systematic extermination the Nazi state constructed. The Hollerith infrastructure didn't build the camps. But without the capacity to identify, track, and catalog human beings at industrial scale, the administrative machinery of the Holocaust would have operated far slower. IBM's machines made it faster. The paper trail proves they knew what the machines were being used for. Watson died in 1956. No charges, no investigation, no congressional hearing. IBM never paid reparations, never appeared before a tribunal, never faced a lawsuit that succeeded. The U.S. government, which was IBM's largest peacetime client, had no appetite for the question. Big Blue was too embedded. The company that had helped power Allied logistics during the war was not going to be dismantled for what its German subsidiary had done while the war was being built. There is a word for that calculation. It is called convenient. IBM's stock continued to climb. Watson's son took over and grew the company into the dominant force of the computer age. The Think signs went up in offices worldwide. The legacy was sealed as innovation, responsibility, American greatness. Black's book sold. It was reviewed. It was cited in academic papers. IBM was never compelled to open its full internal archive. Survivors who sued were turned away, all of it documented, none of it prosecuted. The next time IBM publishes a white paper on ethical AI, and they publish those regularly now, remember what this company's machines were doing in 1944. And remember that the punishment for building the administrative infrastructure of genocide, as long as the right governments needed you afterward, was exactly nothing. Ask yourself who decides what gets buried. And ask yourself whether the companies building the classification systems of the future have read what happened the last time someone got it catastrophically, irreversibly wrong.